Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video today I'm going to be breaking down this exact trade right here which secured us 5% in the market. This one was taken live with the live members, so let's hop straight into it. Okay, so there are a lot of aspects to how I took this trade. So let's start by bringing the price action backwards to here. Okay, so the first things first, we are trading in London session for this setup. So market open was at 8 AM and the first thing I do is I mark out the last low before London open. And that low is right over here. So I will drag this over and wait for price to break this. On top of that, when we go over to the 4-hour time frame, we do have this resting liquidity at the bottom, which is why my bias for the day was bearish. And another thing, if you go over to the 4-hour time frame, this is where we will look for our daily bias. And as you can see, we have this resting liquidity down here, or draw on liquidity, whatever you want to call it, and this determined my bias as bearish for the day. And of course, if I haven't mentioned already, I am trading on the 1-minute time frame for my entries. And of course, if I haven't mentioned already, I am trading on the 1-minute time frame for my entries. Okay, so what have we got so far? We've marked out pre-London liquidity, and this pre-London liquidity is what we are going to look for a break of structure on. And along with that, we have also gone to the 4-hour time frame and determined our bias, which is going to be bearish for the day. All right, so let's play price action on a bit and wait for price to break that structural point. And there you go, we have broken that structural point. I would also like to mention that if the bias was bullish for the day, which there was a good chance we could have had a bullish bias, but I did favor sells because of that higher time frame liquidity. If we did have a bullish bias, I would be looking for this high over here to break, and if not that one, probably this one, because this one was quite close to open, so I probably would have gone for these ones over here, just in case because sometimes you get a very subtle break of structure, and that is not the exact thing you want. We want something very aggressive like this candle right here. Okay, now going over to our checklist, we have a break of structure now that has formed, and that is based off of that pre-London liquidity. So I'm going to put this at the top. Okay, so that's our third thing on the checklist that we want. And if you watched any of my previous videos, I highly recommend you watch my previous videos if you want to understand how I trade further. I do have a rule of 3 that I like to use, but in this setup, to be exact, we went with way more than 3. But that is the building blocks for a profitable strategy. You want to have at least 3 confluences before entering into any form of trade. Okay, now that we've got this break of structure, the next thing I want to look for is a fair value gap, but I want this fair value gap to have significance, and I want it to rest near a point of structure that was previously shown. So if we look at the one that I have marked out here, this one, what is it sitting near? This structure right here. So you want to be looking at support and resistance type of zones. I do not trade support and resistance. I'd rather call these highs and lows. But if you look, we do have a fair value gap, and what is it doing? It is sitting near this low right here. And when you drag it through, we have a fair value gap and a low crossover, which is really nice for that break and retest style of trading that I like to do. Okay, so now let's play price action onwards now that we have that all determined, and let's get up to the part where the LOP forms. So what is a LOP? So a LOP it stands for liquidity, order flow, and then price action. So what we want is a LOP to form before we tap into this fair value gap right here. Okay, so the first step is liquidity. So we have built liquidity up over here. And if you look here, we have equal lows sitting at this point of equal highs sitting at this point of liquidity, which is perfect. And this is amazing for when we get that tap into the fair value gap. Okay, and if we play price onwards, that price taps into the fair value gap as it sweeps this liquidity. So this part is my order flow. I don't trade actual order flow such as heat map. I just like to determine it as order flow because the orders are flowing. That's what I like to call it, and I always have for many years. I've had arguments about, not arguments, but I've been ridiculed for it, but this is my version of what I like to call order flow before I found out what. So when we tap into the fair value gap, that is my order flow, and price is filling orders. Okay, so if we come back up to our checklist, the next thing I want to add into this is we have our fair value gap located, and then we also have our LOP formed and it is swept into the fair value gap. And once all of this has happened, we are going to place a sell limit or sell stop, at the bottom of the candle that tapped it. So if we zoom into this, you can see this candle has come up, tapped it, and it has left this low down here. And that is where you're going to place a sell stop, and then when price comes down to this point, it triggers you in immediately. And then after you have entered the trade, you will be targeting the lows and just put your stop loss above the fair value gap, just in case we haven't filled it like here. We might end up coming into this fair value gap or slightly above. Okay, and if price decides to come and tap into this fair value gap, we should have that covered. But for this one, the rejection was so strong before the entry that I didn't see a reason to. And when you play price on, you can see that not a single candle went against us. It was bearish, 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 bearish. You don't see price action like that every day, because a lot of my trades will just be like this. And like I said, this trade was taken live with my members. You can find the link in the description to that. We are on a big winning streak this month, so please don't miss out. If you would like to join me and take the opportunity, take the risk, and join us, trying to make some money alongside. But yeah, that's the strategy as a whole. If you flip this the other way around, it's the exact same thing. If you had a bullish bias for the day, you would have had the break of structure to the upside, and then you would have had this fair value gap sitting here along with this high being broken, and it was sitting and crossing through that fair value gap. Then you had the LOP, and then we tapped into that, and then we broken structure, sorry, not broke structure, and then we had entered. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed this video. That brings this video to a conclusion now, so I hope you enjoyed this video a lot. If it helped you, please make sure to like this video. If you have any questions or ideas for any upcoming videos, or any questions about this video in general, please make sure to leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share to your friends, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.